Hi, welcome to the video on how to submit a packet tracer lab. From your Blackboard system, you want to go ahead and choose the lab you want. There should be instructions on how to submit the packet tracer and which lab. There'll be a PKA file, which is the packet tracer lab file. Double-click the file, and it should launch the packet tracer program if you've installed packet tracer on your PC. Make sure packet tracer is installed before trying to perform a lab. Open up the lab, and you'll get a series of instructions for packet tracer. If we look, we see the different packet tracer pieces, from a PC to a switch to a router to another router and a PC. All the pieces are there except for the cabling. There's a set of instructions for the lab which are called packet tracer activities. You can enlarge that screen so you can read your instructions. My recommendation is to put the two next to each other and fill your screen so you can easily see everything. There should be a topology diagram explaining the devices, the interfaces, IP address, subnet mask, and default gateway. Basic learning objectives, a scenario, and then each one of the tasks will be laid out. The labs build on one another, so sometimes there will be detailed instructions. Sometimes there will just simply be a statement of what needs to be done. If we look, there is a timing, but labs are not timed. It is the completion you want to get at 100% here in the lower right-hand corner of the activity screen. If we click the Check Results button, we see where we stand as far as the lab. At this point, activity is incomplete. It is not ready to be turned in. To find out exactly what, we want to click on the tab Assessment Items. When we do that, we see for the network PC1, the default gateway has to be set up. There are a total of 37 items that need to be done. Each one of the items has a red checkbox next to it. When it is green, it is a green check mark, that means that item is complete. When all of them are green, the lab is complete. It'll say 100% completed. 37 out of 37 items should be done. If at any time you need to submit a lab prior to completing it, and you have some issues you need to resolve, please make sure the screenshot you submit includes the red X's on the screen. If all I see are green checkboxes, I won't know what your problems you're having with the lab. In this case, I need to do several things on the lab, so I'm going to go ahead and close this out. It comes back to my activities. I follow the instructions. In this case, we're going to jump through a few instructions. Notice we need to go to Erase Startup Config. This step may not be reflected in the actual points or completion for the lab, but there are some basics here. Notice here, we can go ahead and choose some of our navigation. Our basic configuration for router 1, we want to change it to hostname R1. I'm going to double click my lab, go to my command line, hit enter. I'm going to go to enable mode on the router. At this point, I am in privilege configuration mode. I want to go to my global configuration mode. So I'm going to go to config T and tab out so it says configure terminal. Hit enter. At this point, I can enter in the hostname command. And it is case sensitive on the naming, so it has to be a capital R and 1. Packet tracer is case sensitive on names only. We hit enter. And we see my completion rate has increased to 2%. I'm going to close this down now. If that was at 100% or I wasn't sure what I was missing, I could do check results, assessment items, and we can scroll down and we can see green check mark next to host name. So I've configured the host name of router R1. Once all of these are green, we should be able to submit the lab. I've completed 1 out of the 37 items. To submit a packet tracer lab, you want to have this screen open so I can see all the assessment items. They're all green, should be all green checkboxes, and 37 out of 37 items are complete. Take a screenshot of this, whichever way you like. I like control print screen. It then sends that to the clipboard in our computer. We can then open up Office. To submit a lab, enter your name, enter the lab number, and then do Control V, or you can do copy, or you can do insert and paste to go ahead and insert a lab. This is the screen I want to see with the activity results, 37 out of 37 items, and everything should have a green checkbox. Like I said, if you are having trouble with the lab and you have red X's, make sure the red X's are visible in the screenshot. Once you have this on your Word document, go ahead and save it. And submit it in to me in the Dropbox. In this case, once you are completed, you can go ahead and close this out. If you are stuck on a lab and need more time, you can save the labs and come back to them, and this way you can complete them on your time. But if you are totally done with the lab, you can close it out. No need to save. At this point, you can go ahead and submit the lab that corresponds to the assessment you have in whatever week we're doing. Good luck with your labs and have fun in class.